Convection heaters, again, we talked about that at the back there. You know, it's raw heat, it's fire in a pot. You know, we always refer to, you know, you see the old movies, the hobos all standing around the 45-gallon drum, there's a fire going in. That's all it's doing. We're simply able to control that fire and put out a lot more heat output. So in a very small cylinder, we're putting up 225 on one model up to 250,000 BTUs in a very intense temperature. But all we're doing is creating fire in a pot. There's no fans, there's no mechanical support, there's no electronics, simply gas pressure and heat pressure. So we've done some things to assist in the heat transfer, which we'll talk about. But you know, key features of the unit, again, I talk about no electricity. It's that portability. Very early stage construction, remote applications, where you can take an intense amount of heat and help spread it out through an environment. Typically seen in new residential construction, for example. You know, when there's nothing, they're just starting to frame in and stick a house. They'll put one of those in the basement and just get that heat that's naturally going to convect through the environment, take off chills, and keep people working until they can enclose the house and heat it properly. That's an example. But very portable, very lightweight, very inexpensive. You know, we refer to these in the field as disposable product. They're not designed to last a lifetime. You know, for the most part, your dealer costs are going to be $100, $120 somewhere in that ballpark. You know, they're selling for $150, $160 after the end of the season or two. They just go in the garbage. So very, very temporary heat. Talk about heat transfer. So, you know, if you think of fire, you got fire going in a pot, you're just creating a lot of heat, and that fire just produces heat. It relies on convection. It's going nowhere. There's no fans, there's no support. It just simply comes up, and convection is natural air movement. So it's intense temperature, heat rises. What we do, if you look at the top of all our units, we put caps on them, of course. The cap is designed to kind of restrict that heat from just going straight upwards. And on our workman units, we refer to our roll cap design, where we'll talk about it extends out past the sidewalls of the unit and rolls down. So now we've got this fire, we're forcing heat upwards at a very aggressive rate. It hits that cap, it rolls, comes out the side of the unit, now it's heading back down towards the ground. It comes down and hits the ground and reflects off the ground and comes back up. So now we're able to take a little fire in a pot, we're able to spread it out, spread the heat output over a 10, 12-foot circle, and now we've got convection happening in that range instead of just this range. So there's ways we can assist it without a fan, but it's just raw, natural heat. The models, you know, again, the Workman series is by far our most popular in the construction family. Our 225 is our 95% of our sales. It too is variable output, so at 225,000 BTUs, it can actually be turned down as low as 40. We do have a natural gas model available as well, our Workman 100N. You guys have probably figured out by now, but I should have mentioned, any of our family of products when we talk models, the number that we give is the hundreds of thousands of BTUs. So our Workman 100 is a 100,000 BTU. That's standard with all of our family, all of our products. And anytime we add an N at the back, we're denoting a natural gas unit. If we follow it up with a DF, like on the Premier there, then it's a dual fuel, both propane and natural gas unit. So Workman 100 and 225s are our more popular units. The Norseman product, which is very similar, was actually, I believe, designed to service the rental industry in that we made it a heavier duty product. It's got a cast iron burner instead of a stainless steel burner. It's got a painted steel body instead of a galvanized body. So it's just a much more heavier duty, more rugged unit. That said, the Workman, like I said, is still 95% of our sales, but it is a heavier duty product for most fleets. Our Soundblast Radiant family of products is fairly new, over the last couple of years anyway. And this was one of those, you know, Me Too products. We didn't get into Radiant for many years. It was always seen as, you know, just kind of an import disposable product. And more and more we found opportunities to get in, you know, expand our business with our core product by having Radiant, getting us in the door to some of those suppliers. So we went out and we're honest about all our products. We source this product as well. So we don't manufacture this here in our facility. And it's typically, you know, when you talk tank tops, for the most part, it's a resale, almost disposable product. Your 35,000 BTU flat panel, directional heat. When you say directional, it's only got one panel, so heat's only coming in one way. Common in some of the rental fleets in large volumes, and again, very similar to the workman unit. It's almost a disposable unit. But this product, the 125, is one that, I talk about us sourcing it, we did. However, we also worked with the manufacturer and redesigned the combustion chamber in it. And we did that because every other product on the market today in that class of product was garbage. I mean, they were very inferior, again, disposable products, and the rental industry didn't need that. They wanted something that's going to last a little bit more because it's the one product that they rent more often. Because you got 360-degree heat, you got much higher heat output. So some of the things we did was just redesign the space in the combustion chamber. We made it a little narrower, a little taller. We were able to eliminate, or at least drastically reduce, the issues that competitive products were having, and primarily that was carbon buildup. Carbon buildup on both the igniter and the thermocouple itself, which translates to the fact that those units would shut down prematurely and not be able to light again without having to get in there and clean it all out. So we've eliminated a lot of that. And then the other thing that resulted from us redesigning that combustion chambers, we now have a product that's certified for combustible surfaces. So you can put that unit on a wood floor and be comfortable with it, unlike competitive models.
Who do you source it from?
I think I can answer that, yeah. I probably know, but I can't think of that.
Well, these heaters right here, we're getting from a company called THP. They're a distributor for Seiko, which is made over in Korea, South Korea. THP is the national distributor for it, and that's who we get it through. Okay. So
the lower products I know are coming from China, which is the
yes.
country of origin.
Trying to think.
But I can't figure out the top
I can't
of my
remember
head.
the name of the company. Apologize for that.
That's all right, I'm always remembering, they're familiar with what I've been doing.
There's two factories out there. As far as I was ever taught, really two factories that make that kind of product. So anything else you see from, Enerco, Heatstar, Radiant, stuff like that, comes from the other factory, to be honest. And that's where we kind of, the factory we dealt with was the company that used to make them for those companies, and they took business away because they wanted to buy smarter, they wanted to buy cheaper, they wanted a disposable retail product. We're not a retail supplier. We deal with no big box stores, no retail outlets. We're professional construction supply and construction rental only. So we went back to that original manufacturer and said, well, we want to work on these changes. We want to help design a new product and have you manufacture for us. So there is a difference, but they look identical. These factories, how it is in China, they're probably next door to each other.
Right.
But that is one product we import. So we talk about heat transfer. We use fans, we use roll cap designs. With Radiant product, there's nothing but a reflective shield. We create combustion on that heat emitter plate, which basically still produces fire. We've just got a screen, more or less, a screen plate that holds that fire onto that emitter plate, keeping the heat coming, back onto itself. And then behind it, you've got reflective shrouds or plates, which, like light reflection, these actually use electromagnetic waves to take that heat and just reflect it off the surface and out into the environment. Because you're transferring via electromagnetic wave, you're transferring heat from source to source. So you're not dissipating anything through the air, you're not heating air, there's nothing heating in between. Radiant heat heats objects. So of course the advantage in our industry is unaffected by wind, rain. They're very efficient because you're not losing anything to the environment. That said, they're going to heat much smaller areas because you need those objects within range to heat. Once objects heat, if that was on now, it would heat the table to have your body with heat objects, and then you'd have natural convection, which would disperse that heat and eventually heat, but you're just not losing anything to the elements. The models I talked about, we have our Sunblast 15 and our 30, which I didn't have in here. We don't really focus on the rental channel, but we definitely for sale purpose. Basically a 15 is a single head, a 30 is a double head. So each head is 15,000 BTUs. And those are tank tops. You put them right on top of a barbecue cylinder. They're used in garage, small areas, remote applications. The 35 I mentioned, which is our flat panel, which is single direction, so it produces heat, reflects outwards. And then the 125, which is also available in a natural gas model, 125,000 as well, propane or natural gas. We're creating that same reflection technology, but now we've got a round reflector plate, so we're now getting 360-degree output in that model.